right, guys, welcome back to episode 2 of It's All Bullshit podcast. Every time I say that, I'm kind of like lit up in the space of everything. And let's get real and raw and vulnerable in here today. And as we maneuver, and you can expect that consistently all the time as we lead and as we maneuver in life. But it's like, I want to dive into this concept of divine timing and what this actually means in the collective and how we have used it in so much spiritual bypassing over the years. Like we don't even fucking realize how much we're using spiritual bypassing as a divine timing thing. And so let me dive into this space of what this means, what this is, how it maneuvers, and any random stories that come through in the space of this as well. But I just want to say thank you. Firstly, I just want to lead off by saying thank you. For those of you that downloaded the episodes for episode 1, for those of you that will be avid listeners, for those of you that shared it out, thank you, thank you, thank you. This mission was a divinely led mission, and it's one that came through potently in the landscape of an expression that I get to hold inside of this universal field. And I'm just so grateful that I get to do this work. I'm so grateful that I get to step up into this space, even though the fucking journey is hard. Okay, like let's just be real about this. Fucking spiritual expansion and awakening and all the things is a fucking hard journey. But with that harshness and hardness comes the beautiful side of expansion, and comes the connectedness and the evolution and just the deep rooted sense of like truth in the world. And I witness the duality in my life. I get to witness this ever moving flow of the world. I get to be a part of this experience, and I get to see the landscape on both sides. And no matter how much of a shitstorm is going down, and no matter what's transpiring in the universal plane, and how things are showing up, or how messy shit is, like I am going to be posting the videos onto YouTube, because I know down the line, once the podcast gets bigger, that I'm going to want those assets. And so as Lily just joins into the crew here, but it's like if you're listening to this on any kind of podcast platform, it's like behind me is not a perfectionist scene. Like I'm not in a podcast studio sitting here with my mic that's super fucking functionable and like state of the art. Like I'm recording this on Zoom with like my blanket from my nap behind me, and like pillows sprayed across my couch that has a blanket on it, because I don't want any stains to go onto the couch, because, you know, Lily's obviously right here, right now on the couch behind me in the space of this recording. And it's like, Lily's my dog, in case you don't know anything about my personal life, and you've never even connected into the space with me before, but you found this podcast on a rando. But it's like, she's, you know, we live in a jungle. Like she's dirty, even though she's clean. You know, it's like no matter what transpires in the space of all of that. And I I am so grateful for the duality that we get to see. And if you would have asked me 5 years ago about divine timing, and I can look back on so many aspects and pulse points of my world where I was like, well, if it's meant to be, the universe will provide. And it is true. That is true. That is true. However, it's not true in the sense of us giving away our power. A couple things we really need to come back into and reference in the state and point of this is that every single one of us has free will. Every single one of us has the ability to change the outcomes in our life. Okay. We all have this ability. Every single one of us, every person on earth has this imprinting. Everyone. It's like, when you go down the birth tunnel, it's like you pick up your passport, you pick up that energy, you grab your personality, you encode all the things, you decide on the birth date, and then on that birth date, you slide down the canal, and now you're here on the earth plane. And that birth date is a representation of the personality, of the landscape, of the mission, of all the pieces that you came to earth to be within. And we don't realize that to the minute creates a certain frequency in who we are in personalities in the space of. And with that comes our divine free will. Okay, like we're on an earth plane that's free will that we get to make choices on, but we're also conscious creators creating outcomes here. And what we decide is the outcome, is the outcome. Now, if we are looking, let's just say for something grandiose, let's say you make $10,000 a month right now in your business, and you desire $100,000 months, and you decide right now that that is true for you. There's a frequency that needs to shift in the energy field for you to calibrate into that frequency. Can you do it overnight? It's possible. However, you have to be so fine-tuned into the frequency and so potently aligned in it that it is inevitable to happen. And most people can't hold that energetic like space or the bridge in between those two timelines in such a fast manner. But it can happen. There's people in my life that have gone from $5,000 months to $180,000 months in 1 month time. It can happen. The challenge is that we are so programmed and conditioned to think that it can't. So when we desire something and we give away our power by saying to God, well, if it's divinely led, then you'll drop it in. No, it's like we've got to, yes, in some landscape, but we've got to, and let me give you the context of this, is literally go into the space and Lily, is go into that space and demand that that energy moves and step behind it and go, I will until this is the outcome that I'm desiring to have. Now, if you're pushing it forward from ego and you aren't in it for the collective good and you are just doing it to, beat somebody else or, it's not in alignment energetically, then it most likely is not going to happen if you can't hold the purity of the light. Right. And that's where we give away our power. If we're pushing timelines out that you haven't learned how to actually embody that frequency, it's not going to happen. But most of us give up in the front end of doing that work. We don't step up into the identity of the person holding it. We don't do the frequency work around it. And we just give all of our power away by like, oh, well, God didn't want that for me. And it's like, I'm fucking calling bullshit on that. It's like if it's in your space and landscape, we've got fucking work to do in order to hold that. And that's the challenging part about it. It's like we're underneath some stuff right now. All of us are in lessons in this moment of time. Massive fucking potent lessons. Like they're depthful and dark and they're like for me it's worthiness and I'm up against it consistently. I don't know why shit's happening in certain aspects of my field. Karmic debt is coming through in the space of some of the shit from before where I gave away my power and now it's kicking me in the ass and I witnessed it all. Okay, like I see it all coming together and I understand. And it's like my ability to maneuver through some stuff is like top notch. Okay, like I've done a lot of the fucking work, but I'm up against that really big bridge and I'm like, fuck. And it's requiring me to shift. It's requiring me to change. It's requiring me to upgrade. It's requiring me to have conversations I don't want to fucking have. And it's like my word in some of the contexts of this experience is being botched because I can't hold the frequency of this desire. And I'm like, what the fuck does this mean? And it's like, so I'm pulling back in certain landscapes of stuff to get back into alignment so that everything moves in the integrity I desire to play within. And I could be like, well, it's divine timing, or, well, God doesn't want that for me, or, well, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, no, I now need to grit the fuck in and make a decision to be the woman that holds the identity of that outcome that I want. And yeah, it's fucking work and it's painful as fuck. And it's reality check and it's raw and it's real and it's vulnerable and it's all the things that most of us hide from because we don't like intimacy. We don't want to speak the truth. We want to just get by in life. And that isn't actually true. We don't, but that's our conditioning because we don't want to be seen fully. We don't want to own the shit that we have to own. We don't want to be real and vulnerable because that means that we have to express ourselves. And most of the people in the world don't even want to have real talk conversations with people. They want to surface level. They want to talk about the weather. They want to, discuss the stupid bullshit happening in the world instead of actually diving deep into connection points because the connection points bring in the realism. But we have been spiritually bypassing the fucking work for all these years because we just keep giving it away in the space of that alignment instead of gritting in and demanding and being the person that does the work to hold the calibration of this. And if anywhere in your life you haven't been meeting a certain objective or a certain intention that you have, and you keep giving that away in the space of, well, it's divine timing, or if it's supposed to be, the money will land. It's like, no, you also got to charge behind that fucking desire and move it into alignment into the space of that. And yeah, sometimes it isn't in alignment and your ego is wanting it to happen. But if it comes from a place of truth and you're meant to work with that person or invest in the thing or take that trip or date that human or do all the things, like right now I'm in a space of being single and I know my guy is out there and there's some keys that have dropped in that say it could be in a certain portal. I might know the person. But there's a calibration that needs to move through of like a meet cute energy that needs to come into play. where I can't charge forward in the space right now because the timing is off. And that is actually true. It's like I could go move the needle forward and push it out, but I don't want to be the driver in this relationship. I need an alpha male to come through, and his opportunity or invitation hasn't landed yet to open up the door. That's a whole different perspective. I am doing the work to become the woman that can match my guy, because I had a lot of work to do in the space for the guy that I want to move with. There's a lot of work to do, but the second the connection point comes in, it's like game over. It will happen in person. And right now, nobody's coming to visit me up in the mountain. So there's one of the reasons why I'm moving into the city, into Costa Rica, and then moving out of Costa Rica the latter part of this year, is because I'm being called into a visibility game. I need to go meet people and be seen and do like more live events in the space of where the community is I'm meant to serve, and connecting with beautiful humans that I'm meant to connect with. It's like that's the next level of the space. And I could go, well, divine timing is bullshit. It is to some degree, but when your frequencies are not in alignment and the meet cute opportunity hasn't come, we can try and force an outcome, but the outcome will then be forced and the alignment still won't be able to happen. And later on down the road, when the alignment is in play, the opportunity will come back. So, like, why am I going to force that outcome in the space of that relationship when I already know the timing is off? I don't need to pretend like it's there. I don't need to be here and be like, I'm so lonely and I need to force the outcome. No, I'm not. It's going to be really fun for this video, whoever sees it, because half of my face is lit up, the other half is dark because the sun's setting now over in the horizon. But it's like, if you actually listen to this in the space of that, like, we can force some outcomes, but most of us are giving our power away in the landscape of most of our life, like getting the money to invest, shifting the narrative of our power, getting the business off the ground, leaving our jobs, leaving our relationships. Well, if I'm meant to be with him, the opportunity will come. It's like, fuck, you're living a life of mediocrity right now. You are not content in your relationship. Why the fuck are you staying? It's for the kids, it's for the this, it's for the that. Well, we got businesses together. Fuck. The second you liberate yourself in that field, everything fucking changes and the money will come in to the space. Right now, you're trapped underneath it. And it's like we keep making these decisions as human in this space of giving away our power. And we fucking forget that we are the power, that everything channels through us. Conscious awareness, conscious decision, conscious creation. That's who we are as humans and as people in the world. And the second you fucking land in that and you take that back in the space of everything, everything fucking changes. It's like we have been conditioned to not do the fucking work, to avoid the work, to disconnect from ourselves, to minimize our intuition, to play the fucking rat race game. And that is not the space we're meant to lead in. And that's not the space we're meant to move ourselves through. So this is going to be a short, powerful as fuck podcast for you guys today, just to let this land, to be like, where are you actually spiritual bypassing? Where are you giving your power away every single day in your decisions instead of stepping the fuck up and doing the work it's going to take to get there? I feel like I'm complete now because I'm about to cough. Yeah, I'm going to keep it on the podcast episode. I don't edit the shit out of these. I'm clearing energy for someone. Somebody fucking that landed for some of you right now when you heard me just speak that into your life. And it's like, it's time. It's time. You've been saying it's been like, I used to fucking say it's time all the time. And it was time for that positioning. And it was time for this positioning. Then it was time for this other positioning. And now it's like, it's fucking time. It's time for you to get honest with yourself and do the fucking work and step up into the field and go make life happen. It's time. That's about all I have to say about this. So here you go. Episode 2, completion. Done in your back pocket. Fucking take advantage of it. Listen to it again if you desire that. And let's fucking go.